You put me on this platform to tell the truth. Speak to me when I be speaking to the youth.
There are 7.99 billion people in the world right now. And for each person, 96% of their efforts towards personal development fail because they never created a habit to work towards their mindset. And habit becomes easier if you make it easier to access. So by hitting the subscribe button, you'll not only be creating a habit to think better, perform on a higher level, and be more confident, it'll also mean the world to me by helping us make more valuable and life-changing content for the world. Hit the subscribe button. How you feel, man?
I feel phenomenal, man. You know?
You feel good? You feel good?
Nah, you just it's like a switch. You got to turn it on and off. You feel me? When it's lights, camera, action, you got to get in the zone and, you just got to kill it. And
Definitely.
now I'm a little shocked you didn't give me topics. What?
Don't, bro.
My brother like the being authentic.
You see how I flow.
All right,
I want to be so authentic, man. I need to see your eyes, man. Take out the shades, man. What's up? 101. I know you want to be nice. So I usually just dive right into it, man.
All right, hold on.
So you go ahead. So I wanted to ask you, my man Klaus.
What's up?
So I seen you pivot and take a lot of different angles when it comes to your social media.
Okay.
What makes you so passionate about being an entrepreneur, being a business owner, and even guiding people towards the right direction in life in general? Because I see you talk about things on motivation, business structure, credit. You're helping them from every angle, man. So tell me, like, what made you what flipped that switch for you?
I mean, just growing up in Miami-Dade, you see a lot. I think Miami-Dade is such how can I say this good? A melting pot. Mm-hmm. So you may see the hood a couple miles or blocks away. You may see the rich area. Mm-hmm. So because it's so divesting spot, it kind of pushes your limitations on things. And I was just a very curious young man. I used to ask, like, man, why would a young lady as beautiful as that date with a straight dude, who's in and out of jail? He's whooping on you, seeing that growing up. Or I see a brother who got a lot of potential, but I'm like, man, why are you in gangs right now? Like, you got at least a dad in and out. I understand he's not there, but you got an example. So it just led me to my passion, which was actually psychology. I didn't really know what to do when I first got out of high school. Like most people, I was just going to school for my parents, trying to figure out my purpose, trying to figure out why am I on earth for? Why am I even here? Yeah. And I used to always be curious. So me just dealing with my own anxiety, going through a lot of depression, like a lot of Caribbean kids who, just didn't understand, like, why is life like this? I saw a lot of domestic violence growing up. I saw, as you know, poverty. I saw women, having to sleep around for money. I saw men selling drugs. So even growing up, only positive examples I really had was probably men in my family or, certain men at the school, like a coach or one teacher. And what led me to what I realized is there's not a lot of men in positions of authorities for other guys, especially young black boys. So a lot of young black boys are only getting one side of the coin when it even comes to what success, what manhood, what masculinity actually looks like. So a lot of times we're constantly being given advice and structure from a woman's perspective, which is nice. But women don't actually know what it's like to actually be in a man's shoes. She knows what it's like to be a responsible adult. She may have an idea, she may have heard, but she doesn't know what exactly it is to be a young black boy trying to figure out life.
Mm-hmm. So let's back things up. You mentioned you had a passion for psychology.
Yeah.
And I even seen you have your bachelor's and master's right now, right?
Yes.
So were you always inclined to understanding and dissecting how people think? Because I'm assuming because that's what psychology is, right? Did you always have that kind of curiosity growing up because you saw certain situations, or how did that come about for you?
I mean, more. I mean, growing up, psychology, counseling, mental health wasn't very popular. In fact,
yeah, especially in like our community, bro.
Yeah, definitely. Black community, but especially in the Caribbean communities, many of the people are taught that when someone has a mental health issue, they think it's voodoo.
Bro,
and go ahead.
You want to know what's so true? On that note specifically, I had somebody else come on a podcast to talk about autism.
Okay.
And she mentioned that we're not well versed on mental health and things on personal development, that even Caribbean folk,
Yeah,
Their kids have autism. They think it's a lugau or whatever the case may
exactly.
be, and they're beating their child thinking that's the only answer for everything.
Well, it comes through culture and environment.
Exactly.
Because of the culture, what is being taught, and the lack of education, you got to understand, if you don't know something and something is normal in your environment, if someone brings something new into your environment, you're automatically going to feel like, I don't understand. It makes me uncomfortable. It's weird.
Yeah.
So what America allows is to actually push the envelope on certain idealistics that is in the right from a culture. As you know, that Haiti has one of the lowest GDPs, but also the education level isn't very high in a lot of the communities. So a lot of them don't know, because as you know, when you don't have basic knowledge, education, you don't have basic infrastructure, people are going to go off more of their feelings, emotions, and religion.
And what they, especially, yes. And that can be a slippery slope.
Okay.
Definitely slippery slope. So you started to get into psychology. What did you see that was the common thread? Because in regards to autism, I asked this young woman a question. Did you see it more in a different demographic in your research and things of that nature? But when it comes to understanding people's mindset for you, did you see more of a lack in our community and other communities? Or what was the trend that you seen once you got into psychology and how that translate into being a business owner?
Okay, I said three questions. Number one, autism that I see is usually more impacted in males than females. That's one. Number two, you answered what led me into the field, or what did you ask?
The second question was in terms of mindset, because you're all about dissecting somebody's mindset. So when it comes to dissecting somebody's mindset, what are you specializing in, or what did you focus on? As far as, are you trauma based? Are you depression based? Like I don't really give us some context.
Well, I'm gonna be honest. If you see that I'm in finances as well, I'm a very well-rounded individual, because I believe that you need to be well-rounded, because there's so many different cases in psychology.
Absolutely.
Because there's so many different cases, you have to be well-rounded, well-versed. You have to take different courses to learn every single thing. So you may have one client that needs cognitive behavior. You may have a client that you do play therapy with, or you may have a client where you sit down and you just listen to the problems, and you bring the family in with you, and you may have a family therapy session. So there's different ways about psychology, and psychology isn't very broad. I mean, psychology is almost everything we do. This is what I don't want to go off topic, but me learning about psychology in business is what kind of intrigued my mind into finances, because if you know anything about business, they hire psychologists in order to market, in order to understand the consumer.
Yeah, that's true.
In order to understand, okay, if you even look, why do brands put 99 cents instead of $1?
Because they think it's cheaper necessarily.
Exactly. When you go to see a cashier, you see all these little items purposely, because they know these are impulse buying. So psychology is almost in everything we do. But what I did, where we specialize more in helping to build things that person may lack mentally. So for example, say if they're depressed, we try to give them confidence. We try to allow them to open up. We try to give them different techniques. We try to give them different strategies that they can learn to cope with the depression, because they may have trigger points. They may have trauma, like you said, a trauma-based experience where they never learned how to recover from something that was said to them, or maybe they were molested. What we do is we try to give them back their power, their self-esteem, and show them, hey, these are the strategies you can do if you're ever in that situation again. Number two, if you're feeling a little bit depressed, if you're feeling overwhelmed, those thoughts, these are the different strategies that you can actually use to get out that funk, that depression, and understand exactly how to even identify what exactly is causing the trigger.
That's real, because as a self-mastery coach, business mindset coach, and just a general business coach, I understand that there's basic foundations that we all need when it comes to being a business owner. Because if I'm being honest, not everybody's meant to be a business owner if they don't have it in them. Whether they're new business owner or they're aspiring business owner, there's some foundations. And one of the things that I talk about is shifting your mindset from fixed to a growth mindset. But you can only do that when you have a certain amount of experiences that can give you that shift to expose you to new things. So I wanted to ask you, I talk about mindset and all those things, but you mentioned strategies to get people past depression, anxiety. What I haven't, other than the things that I've used for myself, what are some tools and tricks that you tell people or you show people to help them get out of depression, get out of anxiety, because that's one of the things that people struggle with the most that I've seen in business. Because once things go down, it's like a roll. It's like it's a roller coaster. You really slide down, man.
Well, I mean, number one, I'll tell anybody, you have to be very careful counseling somebody. You see, I have experience. I went to school. I went to training. I'm even going through different processes to get this proper certification and other things. But number one, what you want to deal with someone with depression is allow them to talk. Too many times we lack emotional intelligence. Sometimes people always say the same thing. Listen, are you listening to reply or are you listening to understand? As basic as it may sound. How are you listening to them? Number two, you have to be okay but careful with enabling somebody. It's okay.
What do you mean enabling?
So sometimes as people, we don't mean to do it. But I remember reading something and it said there's a difference between helping somebody who needs help and helping somebody who wants to help.
Give us a difference.
Well, for example, if you have somebody who is lacking the motivation, isn't able to work, maybe they got a broken arm and now they have to rest 3 to 6 months, it's okay to help them. But if you have somebody who's fully able, a grown adult, man or woman, who's able to work and provide for themselves, you got to sometimes cut up the spoon. You got to sometimes cut up feed spoon to them and give them the ability to go there and get it themselves and teach them independence, because if not, they're never going to truly find out their true confidence. See, sometimes we enable people and we don't mean to do it. We love them, or maybe you see them, struggling. But sometimes it's okay to allow someone to struggle, because I'm going to finish with this note. I hope this makes sense, but it's like a butterfly, right?
Yeah.
Too many times in our society, we have a lot of people who are caterpillars. And what a caterpillar does, it eats up the leaves. It eats. But there's a certain time where in order to get to that stage, it has to go through its cocoon stage.
Yeah.
And through its cocoon stage, it looks like it's struggling. And as people, you want to help it because it may be crying. It really wants to, get its wings or get out this cocoon, but it has to go through the process.
Yeah.
And too many times when you don't allow someone to go through their process, they never fully develop, and that caterpillar would never ever truly transform and get his wings. And that is the mentality I did when I transform. If I transform my body, it's the same thing. You have to go through a certain process where you gotta let them struggle. You have to be okay with allowing them to struggle. That doesn't mean that you don't feed them if they need it, but if they,
yeah, definitely,
you don't try to help them. But it gets to a point where you gotta allow the people to help themselves. If not, they're never fully going to grow and fully develop into their full selves.
So I want to ask you, many times you find this in a Caribbean household where somebody, like a mother and the son, or a mother or a parent and the child, they kind of push them to do this, to make decisions that they don't want to do. Where if they're struggling with smoking, if they're struggling with with God knows what, and they kind of push them past that breaking point, that causes them, the child, to make a decision that they don't really want to make, or it wasn't their own decision. Is that what you meant by you have to let them struggle by, instead of pushing them in that way, you let them figure it out on their own? Or what's the push and pull when it comes to that?
Well, when you're talking about parenting, it's very similar again. If you raise your child to a certain point, you have to be willing to push them out. So your parents are supposed to be pushing you towards success. I don't know if you ever heard the quote, successful people push people, hurt people, hurt people. When you come from a broken home, say you have a single mom, as you know, if we want to speak directly about Caribbeans, as you know, we have dealt with a lot of trauma, especially seeing Black men go through life knowing that other races usually hate the black boy. So sometimes what they do is they push the girl a little bit more. If there's a single mom, she's more independent, but she keeps her boy more dependent and doesn't allow him to do certain things.
And I feel like that's because most women don't know how to raise a man.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry.
No.
I've seen these examples in the Bible where, of course, a mother's love coddles you as a man. Yeah. But a father's love is that disciplinarian. Yes. It's a certain amount of time where if you fall, they're gonna just say, "Hey, yo, stop falling." Exactly. like get up. Exactly. So you can go on with your point.
So what I meant by that is, because of a lot of things that especially our Caribbean women see,
Yeah.
they're more protective of the son because they know that out there they're going to get him. So she sometimes has to coddle neighbor because that's a mother's way of protecting her child, because she's afraid, because remember, before the George Floyd incident, every time you logged in on your phone, a young black boy or black adult was dying. You constantly are always seeing biases through hip hop, biases in TV shows, biases when you're watching even movies. So that inflicts how you're going to even raise boys and girls. So as you mentioned, when you have a dad who's more competent, intelligent, who understands his purpose, who understands, hey, as a man, you can't be caught always drinking, because if you get drunk and you hit somebody, your butt going to jail.
Yeah.
If you're drunk and you're fighting with a woman, you're going to jail. If you're drunk and undisciplined, you're going to jail. So as a man, he's supposed to teach. A woman can too, but a man's supposed to teach his son automatically. You pursue purpose. You don't pursue pleasures, because pleasure is going to lead to poverty. So the enabling happens is sometimes the mothers don't mean to do it, but because they love their son so much, it's natural. No different than a dad and his daughter. It's just natural. But usually what the father figure, like you said, understands is the real world. He understands that, hey, if things don't get done, no one's coming to save you. He understands that, hey, you keep making these type of mistakes. Not right now, you're okay. But life is more serious for a man, because he knows that society is a little bit harsher on men than women. And we can try to deny it. We can say it, but we just saw what happened to Puff. You saw, I'm nowhere ever going to take that side. But as you know, it was the other way around. People will probably be like, she's wrong. But when there's a guy doing it, oh no, people are not going to stand for that, because we know that at the end of the day, men are more stronger and a stronger vessel. So, and more physical. So society is going to denounce that as soon as possible. That doesn't mean that society is going to agree with the roles are reversed, but society knows women are more emotional. So when a woman's more emotional, people may laugh at it.
Yeah,
because they see women as less threatening.
Yeah, they see it as an act of passion.
So especially a black man, with all the conditioning we have as melanated people, we know that it's very harsh. It's harsh for a man.
Yeah.
But it's even more harsher for a black man, because we know how society has enabled and changed in the last couple of years by how much injustice the word towards black people, but especially black men.
Oh, that's real. So I want to ask you this. Do you feel, going into the business world, how would one pivot with those things in mind?
In what sense? What do you mean?
Like, when I say pivot, nowadays, for our skin color, we have to earn our way in the room. We either by paying, either by serving, or God knows what.
Okay.
How would you say, from what you've seen, from your experiences being an entrepreneur, what are some ways that, knowing these things in mind as a black man, how have you taken that in to get yourself into those rooms, to see success as a business owner, and to take that one step forward, and just to keep that momentum moving forward?
Excuse me. I mean, number one, you have to believe in God. Why is that important? Because you have to understand a lot of the terminology, the beliefs that's been placed on us has been placed by man. We believe because your skin color, you don't belong in certain rooms, where the word never said that. There's no way in the word that they ever used the N-word. They ever said that because of your skin color, you're less than.
Yeah.
Because of your skin color, you have to behave a certain way.
Yeah.
That's man-made.
Yeah.
Just like the dollar, it's man-made. So when you're going off godly principles, which is the word, and I believe this can save a lot of men, especially black men. When you're going off godly principles, discipline, and you know that you're the best, not because of, oh, I'm black, or because I have money, but because of the work you're putting in, and you know you got it, brother, sky's the limit. You see, too many of us think confidence is just, oh, I'm going to go in the mirror and say I'm him. I'm going to go in the mirror and just buy these fancy clothes. No, that doesn't help confidence. What that does, that makes you, it may make you feel good temporarily, but what if a woman rejects you? What if you get rejected from that job? So now do you feel like, damn, these clothes don't mean nothing? No, because the whole point is you want to build your own confidence through working hard at something that you love, that you're passionate about, something that you feel like, man, I can actually help change the world. Too many brothers and sisters was too focused on things that don't pertain to our confidence building. You need to learn about your history. Too many of us think that history started with slavery. So we have such a low confidence is because all we see is images of what were given to us. But you need to know your true history, who you are as people, and you have to read. Too many of us are afraid to read. How are you going to compete in the marketplace if you don't have the knowledge, the wisdom, and understanding? You're not actually educating yourself. You're entertaining yourself so close. Of course, you're going to feel inadequate. You haven't put the work in. Do you think Kobe Bryant is going to go to a basketball game and he hasn't practiced in a couple 6 months and expect for him to ball out and beat other competitors?
Yeah.
No. So why are you going in the marketplace? Why are you going in your field? Why are you going in your business and you're not putting in that work? You're partying every other week. You're drinking all the time.
Yeah.
You're smoking weed with your boys. And I ain't against you. I ain't hating on you, but I'm just giving you facts. You're watching porn all the time. You're not focused. You're not disciplined. Why would you be confident in the marketplace where all your beliefs are already telling you that you're black? The people around you already tell you, hey, man, we just N-words. Then why would you want to excel? You got to put the work in. Yeah. If you're willing to put the work in, the confidence is going to shift. I'm pretty sure the first black people who were playing basketball probably didn't feel that confident until one of them slam dunked, until one of them scored, and one of them realized, like, man, we're pretty good. These people keep telling us that we're nothing, but we're pretty good. One of them started working hard. They kept working hard and winning. Out of nowhere, the belief changed. I mean, there's even I forgot. Les Brown always says this story. There's the 4-minute mile thing. See, certain beliefs keeps a lot of us down. See, during the 4-minute mile, no one thought they can do it. Because the belief was so low, people would even try to attempt it. Yeah. They were going average. But when you start changing your beliefs, when you start getting around winners, when you start getting around people doing it, you're around other confident individuals. I say it's very important you choose your 5 because they're the ones that's going to give you the belief. They're the ones that are going to give you the confidence to go. But when you're around losers, when you're around people who are slackers, when you're around people who are always talking down, when you're around people who don't want nothing out of life, when you're around nothing but takers and you're the only giver, of course you're not gonna have no confidence in the work field or the business place. Why would you?
That's fact.
You already told that you're nothing. Everybody cracks on you. Every time you do something, they call you weird. You gotta understand. Faith comes by hearing. If everybody around you now, you still need some real brothers and real sisters. If you acting weird,
of course.
and you doing some off the wall stuff, I ain't talking about that. But I'm talking about you got a gift, you got a passion, you got a talent, and it may be a little bit weird to us. But you got the Kanye West type of self-esteem. I can't call you that weird. At the end of the day, that may be your God-given gift. That may be what you're good at. So you have to focus on your gifts and your talents and work. That's how you develop your confidence and start learning about your true history.
I like that. So I got these 2 questions as we end off everything, just so, we can guide them in the right direction. My first question is, knowing all these things about you, what does success look like for you?
Oh, excuse me. To be real, this is me. I don't want no one to judge or this is me. To be real, living out your God-given purpose, being not just financially blessed, but having the integrity, character, and having a strong foundation where you can bring people like a woman in your life, develop a great family, leave a great legacy, and you don't have to worry about, man, did I do some dirt 5 years ago that I got to worry about? Just paranoid. Damn, I'm sleeping with this girl, but I can't even be truthful about what I'm doing. So to me, true success is not just being financially stable, but being right with God, being financially blessed, and having some good people around you. Because there's a lot of millionaires, billionaires, as you see, who have worldly success, but inside they're unhappy. They feel alone. They have to continually watch everybody around them. They got the government watching them because they know they have done some very bad things. Or even a young lady who has done a lot of things to get to the top, and now she has to constantly lie. She has to constantly go to city to city because she's afraid if you find out the things she does, you're not going to want to stay. Yeah. She's afraid because she done sold something that was priceless, and now that image is forever, and now she has to worry about, damn, what if my kids see that? This man that I love, what if he finds out that, I done did some things in the past that I'm not too proud about?
That's real.
So I believe we live in a society where we have a lot of worldly success, but as you see, it's a constant challenge of these people always trying to cover it up.
Yeah, that is true.
But I'm not here to judge, because at the end of the day, everybody got their own season. Everybody got their own cards dealt. Mm-hmm. So you got to play it the best you are. So I'm not here to judge nobody now, because we all have done our dirt. But he asked me what success means to me, and that's actually living a fulfilled, happy, blessed life where, again, you ain't got to keep worrying about, damn, I done this. Damn, I done lied to this girl. Damn, I done hit this girl. Damn, I done did this. And vice versa for a woman. Damn, I done did this with this guy. And I done did some things, some strange things for a piece of change. And now, and now I got to worry about, like, man, if he finds out, damn, I feel so damaged. Why was I messing with this guy? And you know, a lot of people right now, forgive me, we ain't trying to cause no controversy, but we keep it real. There's a lot of young people or just older people who they can't go to sleep without taking some type of drugs, drinking, having to sleep with this person to feel good. Again, I'm not judging. Why? We humans. We live in a more sexualized revolution country. It's a different time. However, if you can't go a couple months without something, you're a slave to that.
That's real.
See, drinking ain't bad, but when you have to drink every other day, every other week to feel good, or go drunk all the time, and you're not taking care of your responsibilities, you're not able to fulfill your needs of your partner, your children, you have to be honest with yourself and realize, I may have a problem. I may have an addiction. See, there's nothing wrong if, you can, and then take it down and you're like, I don't need this. What am I doing?
Yeah.
But it becomes a problem when it overtakes you where you can't move without it.
And as a psychologist, how is like you just said something, and this is not my second question, but this is a side question. With dealing with addiction, how would somebody, what's the step-by-step process that somebody can try to help overcome addiction? I know some people it's just a mindset shift, whatever the case may be. What would you say from your experience?
I mean, it truly depends on where that person's at in their mindset. For example, they have a foundation of Christ and God or whatever belief they have. That's the first step, is faith. You got to have faith. Number 2, environment. You cannot be around people who enable you, or you're around people who's doing it. You are who you hang around. No matter what you say, you are who you hang around. Unconsciously or consciously, their behavior is going to affect you. Yeah. If you're around a lot of people who like to spend a lot of money on designer, I don't know if you even see, I saw Michael Rubin. He hung around all these entertainers, and now, whether they bought him or not, he's wearing designer. So you are who you hang around. And that's no shot. I'm just putting out an example. Mm-hmm. That's the second step. Number 3, if it's a pivotal point when you know it's a problem where you can't go a day without it, you're not working for goals and priorities. You're working for your habits. You got to go to rehab before it's too late. Because I don't know if you saw something about Puff. It looks like when he was doing that, he was probably drunk. So he probably had an addiction because some of the things he probably have done, he uses that to cope with it. And that's why I also add his last, coping strategies. How do you cope with it? And you have to be honest. Am I strong enough to do this alone? Because if you have a strong belief system, you got to get connected with the Most High. That's number 1. Number 2, like I said, you got to get the right information. Finding a therapist, counselor, whoever can give you the right information is going to help. Number 3, if it's too much of a big problem, rehab. Rehab. Why? You don't want to wait till it's too late. You don't want to be on a level where you're successful, you have a drinking problem, and boom, you accidentally kill somebody. Or you just crash out and you lose thousands of dollars and you got to start all over because you don't have a car, you don't have insurance, and you're living check to check. So each person, life is different.
No, that's real dope gems. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna spread that out.
I appreciate that's the goal. That's the goal.
That. So now we talked about success. Going to my last question as we ended off, what would you and you mentioned a lot of great things. What would you say if you can lay it out in a step-by-step framework? How would somebody get to success right now? Like, go ahead.
First and foremost, what do we mean by success? Are we talking financial success?
What you just mentioned. I'm talking about what you mentioned. I asked you what it means to you. So what would you say is your step-by-step framework?
I mean,
this is all you.
For me, step-by-step, number 1, success doesn't come overnight. It comes over time. Number 2, you have different levels of success. You have being successful and having success. Tom Brady career, successful. You understand? That was long term. What's the dude who went in the NFL but he didn't last very long? Vince Young, success. It was, no disrespect, a legend, one of my favorite players, a legend in college. He has success, meaning that success is quick, comes in and goes. But successful means that you are constantly going past barriers, constantly reading, constantly engaged, in tune. It's no longer about you. You're focused on your purpose. You're focused on your mission. So when you're focused on your mission and purpose, it's no longer about you. Then you could become successful. Why? Because you have a passion for something that's pushing you. See, when you have a passion, it's like a magnet. When you have a goal, it's like a magnet. You're constantly moving. It's pulling you towards something.
Yeah.
But when you're just only chasing after money, and I'm not against chasing money. Sometimes you got to do what you do. It's like you have to push that rock here. The moment you feel unhappy, the moment things don't go your way, the moment you fail that course, the moment you start that business, because you're just chasing money, it's harder to get back up. You got to do what you got to do sometimes. But when you're chasing that purpose, that goal, and you're trying to be successful, you got to dream to be something. That's, to me, successful when you're doing something that you love, that you want to do, or that's giving you the satisfaction like I'm achieving. See, happiness is really, to me, is progress, as Tony Robbins said. Happiness is progress. But when you're actually doing something you want to do, something that, man, I ain't got to get forced, to me, that's the ultimate success. But successful is doing it long term.
I'm not going to lie, that happiness is indescribable.
Yeah.
Like, but my hats came in today, and it was just like progress, because I visually see the concept of brand and the vision, the mission that I'm putting out there, and I was happy. I was beyond happy.
Let this be confirmation.
Amen, amen.
That be confirmation.
Amen. So is that the end of it, or is there more stuff to it?
Oh man, I got way more stuff. Listen, just like my brother, great, excellent brother. Check him out. But I'm also a business consultant, financial consultant for a couple of years, a counselor, and a coach. So as you saw, I have a repertoire of different things, because I really try to challenge my client and take them to the next level. I believe I have a gift and a purpose that can not only help you financially, but I've created, I believe, one of the first smart companies where we're going to try to help you on all levels. So if you have a problem with women, or if a woman have a problem with men, if you have a problem with your marriage, if you have a problem with man, I'm backed in taxes. I know nothing about taxes. We're here. If you know nothing about credit, you're like, man, I want to start this new business. I don't have any, real connections that can help me get this money. How did you do it? We have something right there for you. So definitely don't be afraid. And, we're going to keep improving, keep making it happen. Why? Because we realize that it's bigger than us.
Yeah.
Sometimes people just need to see your example.
Definitely.
The inspiration that you bring, your ability. Now, does that mean life is perfect? No. Life has never been perfect for no generation, but as my man Andrew Tate said, don't get mad. Don't get mad. I'm just saying, because I had that belief, so forgive me, I haven't put that out there. But I believe, I don't agree with everything he says, but he says something very great. He says, man, your ancestors fought very hard for you to be here. Keep going. It's your time. Does that mean we have to agree with everything someone says? No. Just because you dislike somebody doesn't mean they can't be right about something. But he says something very powerful, which is, your ancestors, what are you doing this for? So we're doing this because at least I know where I come from. I know how hard my parents, my ancestors fought. So it pushes me to want to keep going. It pushes me because at the end of the day, life may be hard, but man, just read your history. Trust me, we got it a lot easier. We got a lot easier because certain opportunities weren't given, whether you're a man or female. Because a lot of, again, I don't want to sound too controversial, but a lot of times people say, well, you're a man. Man, certain men were not allowed to do things. They were told, oh, yeah, you can vote. They try to vote. They found out that was a lie. And some of them did it. I'm not trying to be funny, but some of the men did not come back. They went there and they did not come back. Do you know that feeling of being told, oh, yeah, you can do this, and then you find out that somebody died for attempting? Do you know what that can do to somebody's psyche?
Yeah.
So,
and they pass that down.
Yeah. So I only say that's because we have to realize, hey, our ancestors fought very hard. I'm not here to be race divisional, but we got to say truth is truth. That was how society was. So with the opportunities we have, man, we gotta take advantage. Because there's certain things that weren't given to us, and it's not us. Oh, we hate our ancestors. Now we respect and honor them in my eyes by being our full potential. I believe showing that would be the biggest things to one of our ancestors they can see today. Sure. This right here, having the ability to do things that they dreamed of doing, that they wish they could have done, and not hope that they'll get killed, blackballed, or the angry moms would be at their house. Do you know that feeling of just trying to be free? Yeah. So that's where I'm at now. Grateful, humble, just trying to serve and, be the best version of myself.
That's real. So tell me how everybody would find you to connect with you and, take it one step forward.
All right. First and foremost, my Instagram is I am King Klaus, Klaus. All right. King, IAMKING KLAUS on Instagram. But I also have a website out, which is www.catching with a K, KATCHINGOUR dreams, DREAMS.org, catchingourdreams.org. And the name signifies itself what I'm about. It's just that people who are, may feel a little hopeless, may feel trapped, may not come from the best family, may coming from a situation where they may have issues, they don't understand, they're just looking for a way out, they just need some hope. And I believe that's one of our purposes, is to serve our communities, to give back some way, somehow. And like I said, me personally, I just try to first lead by example. I can't correct everybody. I'm not here to change nobody. Only God can. But what I can do is just try to be a good servant. Amen. And show my next person that, hey, yeah, life is tough. Be tougher. Yeah, life ain't always fair. Oh, well, we got to still deal with it, because that's just how it is.
Amen. That's real, man. So my name is Olivier J. Darcis. I'm with my man, King Klaus. I know y'all heard it. We're here helping you do the do to do life well. Peace. Wait, before you go, make sure you hit the subscribe button and check out the video that you think is the best for you. Or is it check out the video and hit the subscribe button? Man, you know what I'm trying to do. Peace.